Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and get your tin helmets on because it's the Premier League show. Last week, Man City got hit for 5 at home. Chelsea 3-0 down in the first half, although they came back and managed to get a point. It was very, very tough to actually pull out winners. If you did get winners, then you was going way against the grain. Now I'm going to have Martin and Matt with me. But first of all, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. You ring the bell means that we will notify you. You'll never miss any content again. And if you press the link in the description, that will take you over to all the articles wrote by Martin. Matt might write some articles when he learns how to spell. And Tan and Alex and Dave. Sorry, Matt. And plenty over there for you. There's parlays and there's information on nearly every sport that we cover, and there's plenty of them. Matt, Martin, how are you, gentlemen? I'll come to you first, Martin. Arsenal, I thought they got taught a lesson, but they still showed that they've got a little bit more of a spine this year.
What I quite liked was that Arsenal was still in the game with 5 minutes to go. All it would have taken was a header from a corner and they could have nicked a draw that they definitely didn't deserve. Yeah. Thought Liverpool were exceptional in that game, especially Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah down the right-hand side. Had both teams to score. That came in, so I was happy about that. But yeah, Arsenal weren't too bad at the end of the day. I think if a few of their players hadn't had such an off day, might have got something from the game. But definitely a handball from Diogo Jota, though. Not sure what this handball's all about.
Listen, I think you're clutching at straws, to be honest. But the big thing for me now is Arsenal now go and play against a lesser like. Can they? This is where they normally drop points. Are we going to see a new Arsenal that's going to bounce back, put back-to-back performances in that are going to get them 3 points? Matt, you're Liverpool. They look special.
They did look special against Arsenal, that was for sure. And when you touch on Arsenal this week coming up against Sheffield, you're clearly right here. Are we going to see the 2019 Arsenal, or are we going to see this new Arteta, renovation really that he's kind of put together, and they have included a spine. So it's gonna be a great match. I like the Gunners this week, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, just remember, you're our third guest. Get your banter in, get your picks in, get your bankers in, because we need all the help. Remember, it's a team game, and we might just be influenced by something that you say in the chat. Let's crack straight on, gentlemen. I'm going to come to you first, Martin. We're going to go with Chelsea, who can't keep clean sheets, and also gave up one last night in the Cup in the 85th minute. Chelsea minus 225, draw 4 plus 410, and Palace at plus 700. Palace have just been to Old Trafford and won. Can they do the same again, Martin?
Yeah, they certainly have it within them. They have a pretty good record against the top teams. Seen them beat Chelsea, seen them beat Man City, Man United, all sorts of good teams they've taken apart in recent years. They had a very strong start to the season, but kind of fell apart against Everton. Everton, we know, are in great form. I think this is a really difficult one. I would nowhere near Chelsea at minus 225. You'd have to give them a good handicap to get any value on them, and I can't see them winning it that comfortably. Yeah, they deserve to be the favourites, but they haven't really lived up to their billing so far this season. So I think Frank Lampard's going to be under considerable pressure. Probably if I was going to go for anything, I'd be looking at both teams to score, just because that Chelsea defence is so porous. Terrible debut for Thiago Silva. He does not look like the answer to their defensive problems in this current guise. So, yeah, maybe both teams to score, but I'll probably leave it.
They overplay for me. I mean, last week they were 3-0 down. And all right, they got back. They were playing against West Brom, but there's massive problems there. They look disjointed, and you suppose you're going to get that, Matt, when you've got new signings coming in. But they've got to gel quickly.
100%, and that's why I'm going to pick on them right here. One time before the international break, before Lampard really gets to organize this defense. Let's see here. I mean, I'm going to take both teams to score in over 2.5 goals. It's at plus 110 or 2.1. The Classic has hit in 4 of the last 6 matchups between these two. The Classic should be a perfect 3-0 this season for Chelsea matchups if they don't miss the penalty against Liverpool. 12 of the last 15 Chelsea matches have seen over 2.5 goals. So if you don't believe in Palace to score a goal, I mean, maybe you look at over 2.75, but that's pretty juicy as well. I think that old boy Roy Hodgson's squad right here have something in them to be able to score against Frank and that Chelsea back line right now. I really do. So, yeah, both teams to score over 2.5 for me. Pretty clear cut.
Yeah, honestly, I think you've got to stay away from the winners market. I mean, Chelsea could just put their best foot forward, but honest to God, the way that the Premier League's going at the moment, you don't really want to be having a massive guess up, because I tell you what, anything could happen. Now, please excuse me and accept my apologies for not putting up the record. I wasn't even looking forward to it, but I suppose we've got to do it. Put up, please, Fabian. Put the record up. Okay, Martin at plus 0.25, considering the start we've had, Martin. That's great. Matt, minus 180. Flash, minus 380. The team parlay, we're still hanging on from that first week parlay of plus 0.75. And our total is minus 460, which could have been a lot worse considering the results and the games that we've picked on. Now, this next game, I quite like. And remember, in the chat, Barca man, I mean, even Harry Dockett, he was a massive Chelsea fan, big picture of himself with a Chelsea shirt. He's going for Palace. I don't know if he really is going for Palace. I think he's being a bit facetious. Everton, minus 135. The draw at plus 300. Brighton at plus 425. Brighton double chance could be on the cards here, Matt. I think two good sides. I think we see goals.
Yeah, I don't mind that look at all. Brighton are unbeaten on the road in their last 9. They just continue to show up on the road. And Everton, here we are again. I mean, this is kind of last year's Everton price here. They start playing well, and now we see a minus 135, minus 140 pop up. Still, I cannot pull the trigger yet on Everton. I still got to see a little bit more. I think that this team is a lot better than what they've been in years past. But Brighton's sneaky. Brighton has a good back four. They've got quality midfielders, and I like Neil Maupay up front. I think this is going to be a really good matchup. I do like the overs here. It's just a lean, but I really just don't want to back Everton at this price.
Just a leans for goals, Martin. I mean, you're expecting this to be a pure football match. Both of their DNA is we'll pass, we'll move, we've got pace. You attack, we attack.
Yeah, loving this Brighton side. Very unlucky not to get at least the point against Man United last time out. Trossard hit the woodwork 3 times, conceded a 96th-minute penalty. That was definitely Fergie time for that penalty. So it's been a very strong start to the season for Brighton. And we know it's been a very strong start to the season for Everton as well. 3 wins out of 3. James Rodriguez looks like a world beater. Their midfield's changed and it's totally reinvigorated the side. I think we should be in for a really good open game here. Brighton had a good 3 at the back going on against Man United. Tariq Lamptey and Solly Marsh pushed up, so that could give a bit of space for Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison to exploit in behind them. The Everton defence still looks a bit shaky, so yeah, it has to be both teams to score for me.
Okay, yeah, I'm going for the Alex Classic. I've already pressed the button on that, and we'll see our selections at the end. And also a little bit of an adjustment from me to help you all with our bankers, but we'll go through that in a while. Now, Leeds, 88th minute winner. We all had draw no bet. You two were on Leeds draw no bet, and I was on Sheffield United draw no bet. Looked like a 0-0 all day long until the 88th minute. Just the way my Premier League weekend went. Leeds at plus 1,000 at home, draw plus 560, and Man City licking their wounds at minus 275, Martin. Man City have got to win this game. I mean, you drop points this early in the season, and you do not want to be playing catch up with the way that Liverpool's hunger seems to be getting them through.
Yeah, we know how big an admirer Pep Guardiola is of Marcelo Bielsa. He's always been talking him up in the press. So there's going to be a lot of attention on this game, a bit of a apprentice meets pupil meets master sort of game. I think there'll be a lot of focus on it. It should be a really good open-ended attacking game. Man City were horrible at the back against Leicester, didn't get much protection from the midfield, and Leeds play with the handbrake off, so you'd expect them to go and really have a go at them, exploit weaknesses in their defence, and you think they would get on the score sheet. But yeah, like you say, very rare for Man City to lose 2 in a row. They have enough quality to really teach Leeds a lesson in this game if they show up. So I can see why people would go for probably Man City and overs on the goals to get a bit more value, or just go for, yeah, like we said before, the Alex Classic. Been a lot of goals in the Premier League in the opening week, so looks like a pretty sensible bet in a lot of games, including this one.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, Ulrich saying, yeah, over 3.5 goals. I'm not so sure. I think that Man City are going to have to try and get a stranglehold. And we've seen Man City before. They just win 1 or 2-0. A little bit like Atletico Madrid. They win 6-1 at the weekend, played this morning, didn't try a leg and drew 0-0 against a newly promoted side. Man City have now got that problem as well. So it's a leave alone for me. Do you like it, Matt?
I have to say, just when I was looking at the market, I was shocked to see both teams to score at minus 175. Normally, when City are playing a mid-table to lower table side, you're getting a much better price on that. It looks like Laporte is going to come in. He was on the bench at the weekend. They thought about bringing him on, but they didn't. We've talked about him. I mean, it's like one guy changes everything for this team. And they go from an 81% win percentage team to about a 60% win percentage team when he's in the lineup versus when he's without. And I have the over 3.5 here at minus 108. I think that City, though, can get there by themselves. I wish Laporte was out. I really do, because I think that over would be a great play. But I still think it's a solid look. I still think that him just coming into the side, his first match back, I think that Leeds can still score a goal in this one. And I think that this is like a 3-1 Man City.
So you're going over 3.5 goals at minus 108?
I am.
Wow. Okay, well, there's a side that I won't be going near, home, away, or with anyone's money. It's Newcastle at minus 150, draw plus 220, and Burnley at plus 220. Burnley didn't even show up against Southampton last week. They were very poor at home, which is unlike Burnley. I mean, Southampton were 11-8, which is plus 137 favourites. The bookies got it right because Southampton kept a clean sheet. But Matt, can you add Newcastle or Burnley?
This one's tough. This one's really tough. I took a good look at this one for quite some time. I lean Newcastle, draw no bet. I do. But I'm seeing Tarkowski back in the lineup right now as we speak against Manchester City. So I expect him to be ready and back. So I think that Burnley were kind of a nice fade side to begin the season because they just didn't have a lot of their normal 11 in the lineup. Now they're going to be back. So the other lean I did have was halftime draw in this one at plus 100. I thought that looked pretty good. But yeah, I just can't split these two sides right now. A lot of injuries with Newcastle. It's a pass.
It's got to be a pass. I mean, unless you're going to go with can't split them, go for the draw. These two sides, you don't know what you're going to get, especially from the home side. They play, obviously, Almiron. You got Wilson up there. They've got pace. You know, Ryan Fraser can come on from the wings. But you know that Burnley are not going to come out of their hole. They're going to sit deep. They're not going to allow that pace to expose them on the break or because they don't overcommit. It looks horrible, Martin. Is it a pass? Just move on.
Oh, yeah, it has to be a pass. It's a horrible-looking game. There's a lot of really difficult-looking fixtures on this card, sadly. But, yeah, this definitely looks like a pass. Bit of an identity crisis for Newcastle. Can't work out if they want to be tough and stubborn at the back or play expansive football. Sort of caught in between two at the moment. Like you say, you don't know what you're going to get. And a really poor start to the season from Burnley. I think they're really struggling due to a lack of summer spending. Might get a few key players like Tarkowski back and make some forays into the transfer market, which could make them a bit more impressive in the weeks ahead, but definitely leave them alone for now.
Well, Barca, man, he must have had spinach for breakfast because he says that Newcastle, Burnley, both teams to score at 1.96, which is like minus 105. Yeah, I mean, listen, not for me. I couldn't go anywhere near it. And this next game, well, you try and pick the bones out of this because you've got Leicester at minus 135 on the back of scoring 5 at the Etihad. Draw plus 320 and West Ham at plus 425, who score 4 at home and keep a clean sheet. They don't score 4 and they don't keep clean sheets and they play against a side like Wolves. So you try and pick the bones out of this. This looks like goals. Try and pick the winner though, Martin.
Yeah, I initially passed on West Ham Wolves last weekend, but after listening to you two guys, I jumped on board and I should have.
We dragged you in. You won't do that again.
Should have listened to my initial instinct because they were pretty solid against Arsenal in their previous match, and they just picked up where they left off and blew Wolves away. It was a very impressive performance from them. Like you say, they were a lot more stubborn at the back than you would expect from West Ham. So really, really difficult. We know that Leicester have won their opening 3 games of the season, banged in 12 goals. Jamie Vardy's on fire. The feel-good factors return to Leicester. They're coming up against a confident West Ham side. So who knows what's going to happen? It's like Newcastle, Burnley you avoid because they're both in dire straits. This one you avoid because they're both looking great.
Yeah, David Moyes is a bit too mundane for me. And I think to myself, there'll be a lot of people just diving on Leicester here, like just close your eyes and point. But for me, there's something a bit dodgy about this game, Matt.
Me too. This is one, again, I looked at for quite some time, and I was trying to find a way to back West Ham, actually, at plus 3/4 of a goal at even odds. I still don't trust Leicester. I'm going to keep saying I just don't trust them right now. But there is someone in their squad that I do trust, and it's Jamie Vardy. He's lighting up the league once more at 33 years old when everyone's, calling him maybe a little bit too old, but he's still the same guy. He's still tenacious as ever up front. He's got so much pace. And for me here, that's the one angle that I really found that I liked. Jamie Vardy to score anytime at minus 120. Looks like a decent bet. He's already got 5 goals this season. Might as well catch him while he's hot.
Yeah, I mean, Barca man's on that as well, but he's at minus 125. Listen, four goals from penalties. It's like crazy. And it looks like there being a penalty in every single Premier League game. So just go down the list. Put a little bit on every single penalty taker to score at any time. And I tell you what, most weeks you're going to come out smelling of roses. Let's move on. The mighty Southampton at minus 125. How can you have them at minus 125 at home? I don't know. Draw at plus 275. And West Brom at plus 380. Any value in the newcomers going down to the South Coast, Martin, where the mighty Saints kept a clean sheet last week, but they're not convincing.
Yeah, I think there has to be some value on West Brom. I felt a bit worried for them after they lost to Leicester in the opening game of the season, but then they showed up against Everton. Kieran Gibbs getting sent off just totally derailed their chances of winning that game. But then went 3-0 up against Chelsea, which is no mean feat. Dean Garner going forward looks very talented. They got a bit about them. They look a lot better than Fulham. I think they could go down there and cause Southampton a few problems. Saints obviously lost their opening 2 games of the season before bouncing back against Burnley. But like you, I'm thinking they're not convincing at all. Yeah, I wouldn't put anyone off a West Brom draw double chance sort of bet on this one.
Unders or overs though, Matt?
It would always have to be overs for me with Southampton. And West Brom, scoring at least 3 last week against Chelsea, showing some fight, but they still collapsed. I mean, that's still a really bad point when you really think about it. This is a clear pass for me. I want nothing to do with this game.
Okay, well, let's. I know I've started with Martin last time. I've got to start with Martin again because it's his side. It's Arsenal at minus 175, the draw at plus 325, and Sheffield United at plus 550. Now, Arsenal, people are saying they've got a bit more about them, a bit more of a spine. They go to Liverpool, they got their backsides felt. Sheffield United, on the other hand, everyone's surprise team, almost like a Brighton of this season so far. I know it's only a few weeks in. But a lot of people are thinking, Martin, that Sheffield United might have been found out and might struggle because of their lack of goals.
Yeah, it's a terribly disappointing start to the season for Sheffield United. Surprise package last time around and did really well to finish 9th. But in this goal-crazy season, the floodgates have opened and they're the only team without a goal to their name, which is a dreadful return, really. Which suggests to me that I think Arteta has shown that he can be a bit adaptable tactically. So I think he'll go for a more attacking lineup. He's got to get rid of Maitland-Niles out of the team. He was abysmal against Liverpool. All he did was give the ball away. Put Bukayo Saka on the left, push up. I think they'll go for it a lot more. Sheffield United will sit back and try to soak up pressure and hit them on the break. They'll have a chance, but yeah, I think Arsenal are looking good. Like I said before, they were beaten by the champions, but not comprehensively beaten. Towards the end they got that 3rd goal, but a 2-goal defeat away at Anfield isn't the end of the world, and it's not going to convince me that they can't beat Sheffield United. So Arsenal to win over 1.5 goals all the way.
Over 1.5 because you don't really want to be going under 4.5 because you could see this being maybe a 4-1 if they get their tails up. I'm looking at Arsenal -1 though, Matt, and I think to myself I can see maybe a 2-0, 3-1. Mela Parlaway says that Arsenal will overturn. Everyone seems to be Arsenal happy at the moment, Matt.
Yes, I mean, why not? There is a good feel-good factor there, but this is going to be a really interesting game going up against Chris Wilder. I think that Martin makes a great point. Maybe bring Saka back into this lineup. Maybe he plays at a left wing back in defense. And then what he's been doing is in possession, playing him at more of that left center mid role to try and get in between the spaces. And I think it would be a good move for him to do that. I've actually gone with Arsenal and the under the 4.5, though, because I still think it's going to be really tough to break down Sheffield. Sheffield have not scored a goal this season. I believe that Arsenal can keep a clean sheet here. That's my case here. I really believe that Arsenal can keep a clean sheet in this one. I think this is 2-0. That's kind of where I'm at here. 2-0.
2-0.
2-0. Sorry.
Yeah, as bad as Norwich. And by the way, Sheffield United, because there's two sides in Sheffield, and the other one is the mighty Sheffield Wednesday, who are about 10 times bigger than Sheffield United, but obviously not on the pitch because Sheffield United are showing them the way to go. I like Arsenal -1, to be honest. I think there's plenty of value there, and you'll see at the end. Then this next game, listen, have a bit of faith. Wolves -1. Oh, sorry, I'm telling you my selection. Wolves -187, draw +320, Fulham +670. Matt, you have your little Wolves draw half time. I think they get the job done here and early.
Yeah, I don't think the Wolves draw half time has come in one time this year yet. So I've been steering clear at the right times. I will probably dip my toes back in there at some point because they are struggling to create a little bit. So I think that the halftime draws will be in play in the future, but not right now, not against Fulham. This is their time, Wolves, to show that they are a classy side and that they can score some goals against, one of these porous defenses. This is the perfect bounce back spot, get right spot. It points to all things Wolves here. I like Wolves. Wolves and over 1.5 looks pretty good. They should have no problem scoring against this defense. So it'd be Wolves for me, but I've actually gone with Raul Jimenez to score any time. I think that he is going to be licking his chops in this one, looking at this porous defense. And I think he's a classy striker. The guy has ridiculous amount of pace. He reminds me a little bit of a Vardy, a little bit of old Suarez, and I think that he's going to be licking his chops in this one.
Yeah, we had him last week to score. He certainly did for West Ham. Own goal, Martin. I think it's all about attitude for me with Wolves. I think they could get... The only downside I've got with the old -1 is they can go 2-0 up. They don't often bury sides because they then start playing the old continental football of keep ball.
Yeah, I can't really bet on Wolves after that performance against West Ham. That is shocking to lose 4-0 to West Ham. West Ham are dodgy at the back. You can't get on the score sheet, and you concede 4. It was just horrific. There were no excuses for it whatsoever. Nuno Espirito Santo didn't try to make any excuses afterwards. He just said, "Look, we weren't at the races today. We'll try to fix it." But I don't know. I'm just a bit worried that Fulham are a wounded animal. Lost 3 on the bounce. They've been the worst team in the league by a mile, but pretty embarrassing when the owner tweeted and said, "Look, I'm really sorry to all the fans. We're just that bad." So they've got a point to prove. You never know. They might go there and nick a point. So I'm a little bit nervous about this game. I'm going to pass it.
Yeah, they've got no personnel, though, to go and hurt a side like Wolves. I think Wolves have got to show a bit of attitude, and it's all about attitude. They set themselves up right. They've got the pace. They've got the craft, and I think they'll cut these to absolute ribbons. It's just the attitude, I'm sure. Now, this is my absolute banker. Already pressed the button on it. Got the early price. Don't expect this price to be there when they kick off. Man United at +100. Draw +275. Spurs +310. Now, there was someone out of us three who said, "Please don't go near Spurs. Don't go near Spurs." And they duly let us down again. Man United all the way for me, Matt.
Wow. Yeah, that's very, very interesting here. This is a really, really tough one to call. I was looking at this one. This week is really tough, I think. And I was really shocked that Spurs were that big. I think that both of these two teams are relatively even right now. I think that Mourinho can put in some good tactics in this one to keep it tight. It's a pass. I know it's a great match. I can't wait to watch it from a neutral perspective. But here for me, not enough to pull the trigger. I don't even have a lean here.
Martin, it's all about the one-on-one matchups for me. I don't see urgency in this Spurs side. I see a weak midfield. I see a midfield that doesn't create. I think that Harry Kane's not properly fit, and I see Man United scoring at least 2 goals. So do I think Tottenham are going to score 2 goals? No, I don't. So I'm not going to complicate it. I'm going to take. I've already taken the plus 100, but I've also got a little spin on it as well.
Yeah, I know that you're saying Spurs, should have avoided them last weekend. I obviously had them to win. How do you? I'm never gonna be upset about Spurs dropping points, really. But from a betting perspective, how do you give a handball against Eric Dyer? He's got his back to the ball. He can't even see it. It hits him in the back of the arm, and they drop points because of that.
Yeah, that's perfect reason to give a penalty. Dyer not facing play, got his back to the ball, thinks he's a centre back, thinks he's a footballer. Yeah, just give a penalty. Just even if he's in the team, just give a penalty.
Just send him off. Just send him off.
Exactly. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And he's an international as well for England. That's why England will never ever win anything. So it's a joke. Now, Man United, or do you go back with Tottenham again?
Staying away from the outrights, can't call it. Man United were absolutely shocking against Brighton, deserved to lose, let alone draw or win. They were totally overrun by the pace and the invention of Brighton, which you would not expect. Yes, they've got quality players, so they are going to dig results out, but they're a total mess tactically. Solskjaer's not up to scratch. I'm not having them at all. I'm going both teams to score. I think they're both dreadful at the back. Harry Kane's on the pitch. Marcus Rashford's on the pitch. There's goals in this game. Both teams to score. Avoid the outrights.
Yeah, I actually thought that Harry Kane got sent off last week. I saw the referee giving out the old red card at the end of the game, and I saw Harry Kane walking off like that. And I'm thinking, well, who's he giving the red card to? I went back and done the analytics, and there was no red card shown in the game. But I saw the referee showing the red.
He sent off the Tottenham goalkeeping coach for having a go at him.
Oh, no wonder I didn't see it in the analytics. I was thinking to myself, I'm sure I've seen a red card. But anyway, I'm going Man United all the way. I think that they're homers, and I think that they'll just one-on-one matchups all over the park. They'll be far too good. Now, Villa plus 1,000, great win the other night for them. Just all about 3 points at Craven Cottage. Draw plus 480. Liverpool minus 300. Liverpool look absolutely special. And it might be that if you haven't got on Liverpool to win the league, get on them now, because I don't think they're going to get any bigger. How do we find the value, though, Matt, the Liverpool fan?
Yes. Yeah, I know. I tweeted that out a couple weeks ago, that the plus 275 was still too big on Liverpool. And I dipped my toes into that one. So I feel good about it now after City lose in their opening match. But let's talk about this one. This is interesting here. Villa look like a somewhat bet on side to me. They are compact. Really, this one, there's just been so many goals recently that I think that this is actually an unders match. But Liverpool have been conceding. There's been so many both teams to scores. I can't find the value. I really can't. Yeah, it's a pass. It's a pass.
Well, Barca, man, he loves his value, and he always comes up. He must be sitting there all day, every day. Even though he's got a life, a wife, and children, but he has a play for nearly every single game. And he's saying that Liverpool minus 1.5 at minus 110. Martin.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good, Barca, man. Have to agree with you there. Very, very impressive performance from Liverpool. I thought, they looked a bit shaky against Leeds, but then since Leeds have gone and won back-to-back games, that puts that one into perspective. And deservedly beat Chelsea and Arsenal, two good teams. They're top of the league. I'm going to leave this match alone. Just bet on them to win the league. Great value. Man City are hopeless. They're not getting anywhere near them. Liverpool are going to cruise to the title if they keep playing like that.
Yeah, and it's all about their spirit, and we keep going back to it. It's about their hunger and attitude. Every single player seems up for it. They've got added players that are they're back fit. They're actually wanting to get involved. I mean, listen, Thiago's, I know he didn't play against Arsenal, but he's a massive bonus. And when he's fit, I don't see Jordan Henderson getting a game. And you know what I'm like with Jordan Henderson. Him and Harry Maguire, they might as well go and play backgammon down the pub for me. I think they're both very fortunate. So, yeah, Liverpool to win because of their attitude, their spirit. What price are they now, Matt, for winning the league?
I believe they're still a plus price. I think that they're like around plus 120-ish.
Right.
I can pull it up.
I think they've gone into odds on favourite.
They might have. It might be a little too late.
I think it's like minus 110.
Oh, yeah, minus 110.
Was that each of two now? They're both going to be minus 110?
City's now at plus 160.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. Anyway, listen, let's have a little look. And remember, we've got to try and come up with, and this is not easy, we've got to come up with a 2-team parlay to go through to the European. Remember, we've got the international break next week, so there'll be no shows, but we need to go out on a bang on all 8 in. So let's have a little look at our selections, please, Fabian. Okay, Martin's picks. Everton and Brighton, both teams to score at -116. Arsenal and over 1.5 at -105. And if you see them little asterisks, that's a little invention I've come up with, that tells you it's Martin's banker. Man United versus Spurs, both teams to score at -133. Now, Matt's picks. Look how busy he's been, by the way, and he sent me about 5 different texts on 5 different selections. And this is what he came up with at the end. Chelsea and Palace, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Well, that's the Alex Classic. I did tell Zook that was an Alex Classic, so he didn't have to type as much as he wanted to, but he's done it anyway. +115. Arsenal and under 4.5 at -125. Man City and Leeds over 3.5 goals in the game at -108. Jamie Vardy, anytime goal scorer at -120. And Raul Jimenez, anytime goal scorer at +100. I quite like that, Matt, that you've actually diversified. Now, my picks. Wolves, -1, Asian handicap, -105. Arsenal, -1, Asian handicap, -105. Man United and over 1.5 at +130. There's my banker, and I've gone with Everton and Brighton Alex Classic at +120. Now, gentlemen, we have now got to have a little conflab with everybody in the chat as well. How are we going to come up with 2-team parlay or just a 2-team bet? Do we like, and I'm just going to throw this out there, I'm open, do we like Everton and Brighton, both teams to score?
Yep.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we're going to go with that. I need a price for that, but obviously I'll do that next week. Everyone else can do that. So we're going to go with Everton and Brighton, both teams to score, as one of the bets to put forward. And what about the other one? Can we rely on Arsenal?
We all went for Arsenal.
So why don't we go with Arsenal and over 1.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, or just a straight Arsenal win if you're going for a parlay.
Yeah,
no, we want to go with big muscles. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like having like little meal. Oh, I said big, Martin. Okay, listen. We're going to go with Everton and Brighton, just both teams to score. And we're going to go with Arsenal to win and over 1.5. Yeah, Raymond says, yeah, Everton both teams to score. Yeah, we need it. We've got it. So if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we'll notify you. And you'll never miss any content again. And if you are new, come and join the family. Get yourself writing in the chat. Give us a little bit of an input. But listen, make sure you enjoy this video, please. And if you press a link in the description, that'll take you over to our articles at sportsbookreview.com. And there'll be everything there from Tan and Alex, Martin, Dave, and all of our writers on all of our sports. International break next week. Let's have a great weekend, gentlemen. Let's get ourselves back into positive territory, or at least eat away at them -5 units that we're down. Martin, I'll see you again for La Liga on Friday. Matt, you have a great week, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Flash.
Everyone in the chat, enjoy. Make sure you see the asterisks. That means they're our bankers. We'll see you again soon. You take care.